सफलता की नींव है अपनों का भरोसा। और सफलता की सीढ़ी परीक्षा, द सक्सेस ऐप।
Hello aspirants, Jai Hind. I hope you all are doing well, and today I have got a very important topic of lecturate, that is new farm laws and farmers protest regarding the same. And this is going to be a high level topic and has a high probability of coming in the SSB as well. So let's gear up for this particular topic. So as you all must be aware, we are having new farm laws, and let's go through all of them one by one. So there are basically three farm laws, and these are the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act, the Essential Commodities Amendment Act. So they had first come in the month of June as the three ordinances before being approved by the Parliament during the monsoon session by a voice vote. So let's go through each one of them one by one and understand the provisions that they have. So the first one in the process is the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act provisions. So basically it's a promotion and facilitation act, so let's look into it that way. So prior to 2020 legislation, agriculture trade in India could only be conducted in the mandis that we used to call APMC market yards. This act, however, allows trading in outside areas as well, such as farm gates, factory premises, warehouses, silos and cold storage. And prohibits the state governments from levying any market fee or cess on farmers' trade. Electronic trading platform for trading the produce of farmers in such areas can also be done. So basically it gives farmers the freedom to sell their produce at lucrative prices, and the competition, they can enhance the competition, they can utilize the competition, and there is not going to be any barrier of interstate or intrastate trade for agricultural goods. So it also permits the electronic trading for the farmers. As you all know that our economy is digitalizing, so it is very important that they can also buy and sell online, right, as like the other products. So the advantage of technology can be used through this particular act, and it is going to be a game changer for the farmers. Now secondly, let's come to the second one, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farmer Services Act. So basically this particular act deals with the concept of contract farming and the market their produces freely. The government asserts that the Act helps protect farmers engaging with agriculture business firms, processors, wholesalers, exports or large retailers for farm services and sale of future farming produce by a mutually agreed lucrative price framework fairly and transparently through a contract. So what you need to understand that farmers won't be having the tension of a farm produce getting not sold. There would be a buyer, there would be a certain buyer, and the act provides a 3-level dispute settlement mechanism as well, that is conciliation board, subdivisional magistrate and appellate authority. So this particular act gives farmers, depending on the quality of their produce, the price that they would be demanding, and therefore would be going ahead with the contract. So international wholesalers can also contact these farmers directly and can avail their services and can provide them great amount of revenue for that. So this is also a beneficial act for the farmers. Now let's come to the Essential Commodities Act, and it's basically an amendment of the previous act. So it is an amendment to the existing Essential Commodities Act, as I told you. So this law now frees items such as food grains, pulses, edible oils and onions for trade except in extraordinary situation. Now you need to understand that our country India, when the Essential Commodities Act was made in 1955, had different sort of agrarian economy that we have right now. Let's see. Now the wheat produce has become 10 times since 1955. The produce of pulses has become 2.5 times. So what you need to understand here is that the produce is so much and so huge that we have become the net exporters of our produce to other countries, and there's abundance of these materials. So what the government has thought that there is so much abundance that there is no point of hoarding, so they have came up with a concept that they want a free market for all the producers, exporters, and free facilitation of trade. That's why they have removed these particular items from the Essential Commodities Act, and basically want to profit the trade and economy through this particular act. So coming to the act, the ordinance amends the Essential Commodities Act to allow the government of India to delist certain commodities as essential, allowing the government to regulate their supply and prices only in cases of war, famine, extraordinary price rises, or natural calamities. So the commodities that have been deregulated are food items, including cereals, pulses, potatoes, onions, edible oil seeds, and oils. These can only be regulated in extraordinary circumstances, previously mentioned, by imposing limits on the number of stocks such as items that can be held by persons. So the trigger is that if there is a 100% increase in the retail price and a 50% increase in the retail price of non-perishable agriculture food items, then the trigger would be set, and then a government might act and regulate it. So these restrictions won't apply on stocks of public distribution stocks, right? So this particular act also wants to facilitate the free trade and utilize the abundance of these things in our country. So let's come to the conclusion of these farm laws and understand what benefits or what are the outcome of these. So the strengths and opportunities. With passing of the bill, the union government has intended to liberalize farming with short-term goals of doubling the current average monthly income of the farmers. So the government aspires to deregulate the sector and offer farmers the freedom of choice to sell their produce without restraint. They want to reduce the monopoly of mandis, they want to remove the brokers from the process, and they want to liberalize the entire agricultural economy of the country. They want to modernize it, they want to digitalize the entire agriculture sector by providing online selling and buying of their produce. The increase in competition can potentially work in favor of the farmers. They won't be on the mercy of middlemen anymore. In addition to these benefits, the availability of contract farming provides farmers with a price assurance instead of subjecting them to a market uncertainty. Like there is failure of crops due to seasonal adversities, or there is also a possibility of firms providing farmers with input material as a part of contracts, thereby reducing input costs. By amending the Essential Commodities Act 1995, the government does away with stockpiling restrictions on several commodities. In doing so, the government intends to stabilize prices by driving supply chain efficiencies through access to stock. So this also you need to understand that due to the abundance, we don't wish to regulate it. We are the net exporters throughout the world. And what is the point of, hoarding? In this case, when there is already an abundance, there is no point of hoarding. So these bills have the potential to create a similar impact as the new economic policy. So this, however, depends on how the outcomes and how few independent actors and their motives turn out to be. और सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है कि जो आप प्रोटेस्ट देख रहे हैं फार्मर्स के द्वारा, ये जो प्रोटेस्ट हैं, जब भी कोई रिफॉर्म आता है, कोई बहुत बड़ा रेवोल्यूशनरी रिफॉर्म आता है, तो प्रोटेस्ट होना लाजमी है. क्योंकि एक सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी हमेशा ऐसा रहेगा जो एग्री नहीं करेगा। आप ऐसे समझ लो कि 1985 में जो ओबीसी का एक्ट आया था, जिसमें ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन एक्ट आया था, देयर वाज अ ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोटेस्ट, राइट? And huge amount of people did committed suicide from the general category, and there was a lot of protest. There were few things that completely revolutionized the Indian society. So you need to understand, whenever there is a revolution, there is a spark and things tend to happen. Although government has done a great job in implementing the act at a very right time, because there was a pandemic, they knew that the reaction of the people would be very less. You need to understand that this is a very a strategic move by the government, and hopefully these acts would later on revolutionize the entire farming sector, which was very much needed. क्योंकि अगर हमारी फार्मर्स की आप दुविधा देख रहे हो, इतने सारे सुसाइड्स कमिट कर रहे हैं, तो अनटिल एंड अनलेस उनका रेवेन्यू बढ़ाया जाए, जो कि गवर्नमेंट डबल करने का एम कर रही है, उनका कुछ नहीं हो सकता। तो ये रेवोल्यूशनरी एक्ट लाना बहुत ज़रूरी था, एंड लेट्स सी हाउ दे टर्न आउट टू बी. So that would be it for this particular topic, and we wish you all the best, and we hope if this topic comes in the lecturette, you're going to kill it, and we wish you get recommended. Jai Hind. Bye.